This is the result of someone responding to a text message while driving. Unfortunately, it's an image we're all too familiar with. Hello, my name is Zach Moreland, and today I'm going to be talking about the dilemma of texting and driving. I have researched this issue to provide some clear facts about the problem, as well as some practical solutions, and to talk to you guys today about the Distracted Driving Foundation, a foundation that is against distracted driving, especially texting and driving, and who are pushing to end this problem. Like many young adults, I will admit that I have texted and driven, or I've used my phone in a distracting way while I've been driving. I realize that for the safety of myself, for the safety of other drivers, for pedestrians, and for future generations, that this problem must be stopped. I will first talk about the problems that come with texting and driving, some of the causes and justifications for texting and driving, and some practical solutions to this problem that the Distracted Driving Foundation is pushing. So, first off, what is even the problem with texting and driving? Most people would probably agree that texting and driving really isn't that big of a problem, but unfortunately, these statistics show otherwise. A 2010 study found that people who text while drive are 23 times more likely to end up in a car wreck. This is according to textinganddrivingsafety.com. That same study found on the website also showed that teens who text while driving spend approximately 10% of their driving time outside of their lane. A 2011 survey that published on textinganddrivingsafety.com also showed that at least 23% of auto collisions were as a result of texting and driving. That's equal to 1.3 million car crashes. These are just a few of the hundreds of statistics out there proving that texting and driving is a serious problem. So, if it's apparent that texting and driving is such a big problem, why do people still continue to do it? Despite all these social media promotions and commercials about the dangers of texting and driving, many people still continue to do this. This can be attributed to the fast paced society in which we live in today. People are used to the concept of immediate gratification. Texts are expected to be read and responded to in a timely manner, and unfortunately, this obligation carries over to behind the wheel as well. Another reason that people continue to text and drive is just because they simply aren't educated about the problem. And these short 140 character tweets or 30-second commercials really aren't doing enough to educate people about the dangers of texting and driving. Another reason probably is because the majority of people who text and drive, teens and young adults, they feel like they're invincible because of their age and health. They also like to justify texting and driving by saying they're good enough drivers or that they do safe texting and driving, like only texting at a stoplight or holding the phone up to the windshield so they have better visibility. But these excuses aren't cutting it because frankly texting and driving is still a huge dilemma and they aren't preventing any wrecks at all. The question is, how do we stop this problem? Many states have already enacted texting and driving laws, but they aren't preventative and they aren't solving the problem. I mean, speeding laws have been around forever, but people still continue to speed. I believe that the way to prevent texting and driving is through education and awareness and mandating private companies to help tackle the problem. First off, with education and awareness, education programs about texting and driving should be brought into high school and college campuses across America. Those who have suffered from the consequences of texting and driving should be encouraged to participate in these programs, to speak out and share their testimony about how they were affected in a negative way by texting and driving. This personal side of the story would definitely help people become more attached and more aware of the problem. Secondly, we can end this problem by getting private companies involved. AT&T has released a Drive mobile app. This app senses when the phone is going over 15 miles per hour in the car and then prevents any texting alerts or the driver to view their text during the time the app is on. It also alerts people who text the driver that the driver is currently driving, so they're not going to respond to their text. The Distracted Driving Foundation is pushing for cell phone companies to all have similar apps like this. All of them automatically built into their cell phones and are a part of the phone. So there's no way someone can take it off or anything like that. I believe that with education and awareness and private companies being mandated to tackle this problem, that texting and driving would be significantly deterred, if not eliminated. In conclusion, texting and driving is a very dangerous and yet preventable problem. I have talked about the problems and issues that come with texting and driving, the causes and justifications for why people text and drive, and finally some very practical solutions to the problem which the Distracted Driving Foundation is pushing for. So I challenge you to research more about this topic and talk to your families, talk to your friends, your children, your grandchildren. Make sure they know about how dangerous this problem is. I would also like to encourage you to donate to the Distracted Driving Foundation and be a part of the voice of Americans who are pushing for an end to texting and driving to keep everyone safe. No one wants to be a part of the wreck like we saw in the beginning of this video. Let's change that.